Hi, and welcome to my Whimsical Little World YouTube channel. Today we are working with the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition program, and we are also going to be featuring the new release Digi Stamp Mason. He is so cute, adorable little character, and I named him after my son. And my son, he just loves soccer. And you can find this cute little Digi Stamp here over at Paula's Papers on Etsy. And if you have a hard time finding them there, you can also go to my whimsicallittleworld.blogspot.ca, and there you will find him as well. And you will find the rest of the digis that are being released every single week. Today in the program, we are going to be making a very simple pop-up card. I love cards that are interactive and that have various folds, especially like the never-ending card. One of these days I'm going to try it, but I think I'll have to have somebody actually walking me through it because it looks really complicated. But I just love things that you can just play around with and they pop up and stuff. And this program allows me to create such cards within a matter of minutes. And if I want to, I can create my own designs, but I'm going to show you how to easily do it in the program and just getting a few little items over at the Silhouette designer store, Silhouette America, right? Yeah, Silhouette America store. And all we're going to be doing basically is just creating the rectangles, the square, and that is it. Everything else is from the Silhouette store. And of course, the Digi Stamp is from my Whimsical Little World. So here we go. We're going to make a pop-up card. So let's move everything out of the way here. That we have nothing distracting us here. Okay, I'm just going to move this up out of the way here for a bit. And I'm going to leave that there so it's embedded in your mind and you won't forget to go there. Okay, and say hi too. Yeah, don't be shy and say hi. All right, so here we go. So here's our base, and as you can see, there's nothing really complicated about it. Typically, I would like to make a few little cuts in the cards. So I'm just going to pull one of these, and you would see something like this on the card, and then I would have the machine cut it like this for me and design it like this. However, I want to do this really super fast and simple so that way you can see how easy it is just to make a pop-up card. So what we need is a rectangle, and I already know that it's going to be 6 inches wide and 11 high. So I'm just going to the height and the width. So all I do is go to my rectangle tool here, and I'm just going to start off with just whatever size. No big deal. I'll get you out of the way here. Bring you here. I'm going to click on it because I already know what I want. So I'm just going to go to my scale here, and I'm going to say 6 across, and what did I say, 11 high. There we go. So there I have the base of my card already. Easy peasy. Now I want to create the little dashes here, and I'm going to also, hopefully I don't forget, I'm getting old here. We're going to make it about 1 inch. And hold down your shift key, because if you don't hold down your shift key, see, it's going to do a little dance on you. Whereas if you hold the shift key, it'll go right straight. So I'm just going to, yep, like that's perfect. I just made a tiny little dash. Some people want to make a longer dash, or it's up to you. It's whatever you like, whatever works for you. And also the paper too, that's really super important. Once you start playing with the paper, you're going to notice what the cut lines and things like that do to your paper, especially over time when you're constantly opening and closing these cute little cards. All right, back to the dashes. So here is my dash here, and I'm going to replicate it here once. And what I did is I just held down, I'm working on a Mac, so I held down the Alt Option key and just slid it over, click and drag. But you can also have this selected here and go to the replicate, window up here at the top, and I'll say a row. Well, you can't go any more than row 4, right? So I'll say row 4, but you see how close they are together, so I don't like to do that because then I have to just go back and work at it again. So, but then what you can do too is just go like this and select them all. Hit your Alt option down, and then there you go. And then I'm just going to do a few more. And this one I'll leave right there. And I don't care if I could just do it like this, and that's okay. Because, watch, I'm going to align all of this so it's nice and straight. I'm just going to move my rectangle out of the way for 1 second. So I'm going to select them all. And then I'm going to go to my align here. And I'm going to say align top. So there we go. Now they're all, their heads are matching there. Skinny as they are. And then I'm going to say space horizontally. And now they're all evenly spaced. So I'm going to group them so I don't have to fool around with them too much. And I'm going to see about my spacing here on my card. And it's nice. But now I need to make sure that it's right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is select both my base and my dashes and say align middle. And I'm also going to make sure that it's centered. So I'll hit align center. And now I have the base of my card already done. So I'll select it all and say group. Oops, but you know what? See, I forgot. There went the old age. I'm going to go back a step. Okay. Before I go back a step, because you're going to cut these, right? And these dark red lines indicate where you're going to cut. Well, I want my card, the rectangle, to be cut. However, I don't want the dashes to be cut. I just want it to be perforated. So I'm going to select that one right there. Okay, and now it won't cut, and because I've just been finding that if I cut my folds, then the paper tears away much too fast, and so I like it this way better. Too bad they didn't have an option where it was just even more gentle than this. If they do, let me know. So now I know that my outside's going to be cut, and this is just going to get kind of like a little like scored heavily, you know, but not too much. So now I'm going to group it together, and I'm just going to click out of there. And now I have the base of my card. Yay! All done. But we should just leave it right here, right? Because we're going to use it again. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is just a square. And it's basically the same idea as doing the rectangle, only it's a square. And you're not going to make it to fill the entire card here at the bottom of the base, because you know you want to layer it a little bit, and it's going to be more like that. Okay, now to have your little characters and these little pieces of grass and things like that sticking out, you're going to need some pieces of paper that are cut. And typically what I like to do, what I find works for me anyways, is making sure that the paper is not wider, because you don't want to see it, right? You want it to be thick enough that it's going to support the element, and not too big that it's going to show, because you want to give it the appearance that it's doing this all by itself magically. That's the wonder of it, the magic of it. So you're going to make these little rectangle shapes right here. And if you want, you can look in the bottom of the video and I will have the measurements for them. Okay. So there we have these ones already done there. I'm going to put them off to the side here so I can see them. Now the next little elements that we have are the little, yeah, that was it. The little grass pieces here. So the grass pieces are just going to simply go here, and as I said, I purchased these at the Silhouette America store. So I didn't even have to work for them. I just had to pay for them. That's it. But let me tell you, I use these time and time again. I love them. I love the big chunky ones. I find that they cut a lot better than the really thin ones, especially when you're doing smaller like less than an inch high or two, you know, they just cut better. So there we have the grass. And then, like I said, here is the pieces that are going to be going there. And you're going to see, I'm going to give you pictures so that way you can see what the finished product will look like when it's done. The finished product. I don't sell my cards, I'm a hoarder. Okay, so here is our mason, our little mason. And what we need to do is make sure that Mason is not going to get his head stuck out at the bottom of the card here. And so what we need to do is we're going to say mirror below. And you see how his head is sticking out at the bottom? Because once you close the card up, then his head's going to stick out, and that's not going to look good. So we know that's a no-go. So we know that we need to take him up a little bit higher, and then we're just going to mirror below again, and we still have a little bit of his head popping out. However, just going to put it there like that, and I'm going to say we still have room. So I'm going to put him here, and instead of moving him, there we go. So now I have him perfectly there so that when my card closes, that Mason will still be inside the card, and he's not going to give it away. All right, and we also have to make sure that he's not going to crush the grass either, right? So let me highlight him again. Mirror below. So when we fold this card downward, we need to make sure that as we fold the card down, that the cards will also lay flat. For instance, this piece of grass, this Mason needs to go. This piece of grass right here, mirror below, it's much too close to the edge. So we need to move it up a bit, and we'll probably move it off to the side. So we'll go mirror below again, and that's probably better. And we could probably even do just a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to delete this one, and then I'm going to say mirror above. I'm so sneaky. Okay. And then there's this one here. And I'm going to make this one just a little bit smaller, just so that there's some variation in size here. I don't like things being even. Okay, now we're going to go mirror below. Boop, ba-doop. And there we go. Okay, so now he's in the clear. He's not hitting any grass or anything. It's perfect landing for him. Okay, so we're good. All done with Mason. Now, it's super easy to go shopping online at the Silhouette America store. And I shouldn't say that too loud, right? Because my husband might be listening. But I just typed in soccer, and I got this great little net here. And I actually got a chance, well, when I first cut it, it was really kind of cool because all the grid and stuff, it was really neat. I liked it a lot. And it's going to come as one piece. So what I do is I just take it apart. But before I take it apart, let me see if I can find it here. You get to see my entire collection. Well, this isn't my entire selection. This is just my selection that I haven't organized yet. Okay, so let me get this out of the way here first. All right, so it will come like this with the three pieces, the netting, the bars, and the grass. And what I need to do is I need to size it. So in order to size it, I'm not going to ungroup it yet because I want it all to be the same scale, right? So I'm just going to leave it together and then size it according. And I want to give a little bit of perspective too and make it look like he's a bit farther away from the net. So there we go. So that's how I do it for sizing. And then after I do that, then I ungroup it. Okay. And if you notice when I ungrouped it, you notice all these little lines and stuff. That means all these little lines are being disconnected too. So what's going to happen is oops, you know, you move a square. So you have to be super careful and then just select it all and then just say group and make sure that you've got every single little piece for that. This one right here, the grass came with some little cuts in it, and I don't really particularly care for those little cuts because it's such a tiny little piece. It's just going to ruin it anyway. So I'm just going to have it as one big piece of grass. And that's how you do the netting, the net and the grass there. So I know that's going to be red, and I know that that's going to be blue or some darker color, and then I'm going to have the grass right there. Okay, next thing we need is the little clouds, and the clouds again I purchased at the Silhouette America store, but I don't need to tell you how to make your own circle or your own clouds, right? No, I don't. I'm just being really super lazy to do it. I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. Another time I'll show you how to do them. Okay, so here we have our 3 little clouds, and they came in, I think, 4 or 5. You get a lot for, you know, especially when you get them on sale. And what I'm going to do also is, you know that I like to work with odd numbers, no more than 5, and always in a triangle. I don't know. It's just more aesthetically pleasing. For me, I like it that way. And then I'm going to cut a little, I pulled a little labels. You know, they have, just put in labels in the search bar there, and you're going to get all these cool little shapes. And then I think you could see it there. I went and bought the happy birthday phrase, and I could have done it myself with my own fonts, but like I said, I want to do this really super fast and easy. So I just go shopping and I buy my shapes and let Silhouette America take care of the designing for today. I just want to make a pop-up card. And there is what our pop-up card is going to look like. Just like this, except it's going to pop up. And it's going to have all sorts of different colors, and plus he's going to be really cutie colored in. For those of you who are wondering about how to do the tracing and whatnot for Mason here, oops, I'm going to move, let me take him out. Okay. If you haven't already done it, I'm just going to ungroup this to start all over. Okay. So you get your Digi Stamp and it looks like this. Yeah, you know it's a PNG because there's no background. If you have a background like white on it, it's okay. You can still trace it. It's just a JPEG, no big deal. But you will, and I'm referring to other Digis. With mine, with most of them, you can get JPEGs and PNGs. But if you need a JPEG over a PNG or vice versa, let me know and I can accommodate that. Not a big deal. All right, so here is our Digi Mason, and what I want to do is I want to create a border, and of course make a cut file. I want to cut them out. So what I'm going to do is go up here to my select window right here, and I hit the select trace area. As you can see all this yellow here, he was selected. So let's just explore here if we were to select the trace right here. And you see how it's traced it. It's traced every single line in on Mason. Every single line he's read, and we're not going for that. So trace and detach. Where's my move tool? You know, so this is what it did to it right there. So that's not our option either. What we want to do is we want to go to trace outer edge, and that's what it has done. It has traced the outer edge. Now, the next thing what we want to do is you can cut him like this if you want, but I want to create a border. So look at the time. My kids, it's summer, and this is the only time I can do this, when it's quiet and the dog and the cats and the kids are asleep. Okay, and I'm tired. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your offset window right here. I keep wanting to say tool, but it's window. So your offset window, and you're going to select offset. But first you're going to do is you're going to try to get that red little line there. And sometimes if you end up getting a square, just go back and try to hit the red line. And you might have to zoom in. So I'm going to say offset. Oh, phew, thank goodness, I got it. It doesn't always work. I have to zoom in. I got old eyes. All right, so I want to bring it down just a little bit. I used to, when I first started making borders, I used to set it at 100 because I thought it was kind of cool. But now I just set it at 50 or 55. That's good enough for me. So now we have a 50 for the offset, and I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to move Mason out of the way, and I'm going to select the line inside because I want there to be the border there. And some of these I don't want, and I have to be super careful. Like for instance, right here, you see how it's detached, this piece of grass? I don't want that detached. I want that together. So I'm going to have to do this again. See, it was detached, and I want it attached. So let's go back again. That way you see me do it again. So I'm going to say select trace area. There we go. And trace outer edge. And I bet you this time I won't get it. I'm going to go to offset. Oh, I got it. And I'm going to go to, whoops. Let's see what, if my eyes don't fail me. See, I'm watching it right here. I don't want it to be too thin because I don't want it to break off. And I don't want this to touch either because I want that out of the picture. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at 65. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted, but oh well. I'm going to get rid of that one there and make sure that I selected the right one because it's late at night. Now I'm noticing that there's a few bit of little cut lines here. And so what I'm going to do is highlight it here and say release compound path. And then I'm just going to pick out what I don't want. And I'm going to hold down my shift key so I can select more than one. And that would make the process. Is that something on there? Is that just my dirty screen? That was just my dirty screen. Okay. And now I'm going to put him back in here. And, oh, I had him. Just when I laid him down, then it was a no-go. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is almost even. Pretty good. Okay, so it looks good to me. And actually, I can see that his... Okay, now I'm being really picky. I'm paying attention to his foot right there is off, and I don't want his sneaker. There you go. Okay, so you want to group it all together by hitting your select tool, and then you're going to go to group. Okay, and then that's when you have your little digi guy. And of course, right now he's 7 inches tall. We don't want him that big. We want to shrink him up just a bit. Oops. See, it's late at night. So let me go back to where we were. We're not going to group them yet because did you see what happened? This little part here is movable. So what we need to do, because we released the compound path, right? So what we need to do now is we need to make a compound path, or you can group it. That wasn't right, was it? Okay. I guess you get to watch me do it all over again. All right, here we go. Select trace area. And we go to offset and offset. And I'm paying attention this time. And he's good. And I'm noticing new cut lines here, so sometimes you'll get some new ones. And I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to release compound path because I don't want that there. And I noticed a little itty bitty cut line there, 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 and there. And I also want that one and that one gone. And that one gone. And that little piece gone too. And I think this piece as well. I don't want to cut into his skin. Poor Mason. And you know what? This cut was a lot better than my last cut. So it was worth the goof up. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to, I almost forgot. Because we released it, right? We need to make the compound path again. And then we can put them back in here. And then you can select both him and the cut. And you can say group. And as you can see, it will cut around him with a nice little border. And now Mason is ready. And then of course here is when you put them in your sheet of paper, making sure that your registration marks are in place, which is these grid lines, making sure that your digis are not like this, or even like this, or even this close. Some machines are really sensitive and not even like that. Making sure that there's enough space between the edges and whatnot around them. So that's what it should look like when it's going into the machine. So there you have it. And I will have some pictures to show you the finished or the end product of what I did. And I hope that you like it, and I hope that you come back again. So until next time, have fun creating.